This poor woman was just sitting in her car, and apparently somebody suspected her of having stolen a pair of sunglasses or some shit, and she's just hanging out here when these officers approach.
Yes, we do.
Because what? Because I'm in a car?
You're going to go to jail.
Well, over here, we have this old dude on a bicycle that got hit by a car. He's trying to fix his bike up and just go about his merry way. What happens? Well, you're going to see what happens when over-aggressive, untrained police officers try to take control, so to speak, of this scene, this situation, and they automatically assume that this guy has done something wrong, and they're really going to press on him, and they're going to end up
till we finish our
banging his face and head against the police car and knocking him out. Then they're going to drag him to jail, only to release him later on his own recognizance. It's just absolute insanity, and it's one of the main reasons that police officers all across the United States need to be trained in how to be decent human beings, i.e., character building. They need a curriculum. They need a program.
Put your hands behind your back.
Here he goes, handcuffing an unconscious man. Handcuffing him, searching him, not calling for medical, not really doing anything. And look at this guy smiling. Look at him smile. Look at him. Look at him. He's happy as hell that they knocked this guy out. Is this crazy or what? Meanwhile, back at the parking garage, these officers are trying to get this woman out of her car. There's no real crime or suspicion articulated. It's just ridiculous. This guy's telling her to look out, watch, turn the other way so that we don't hit your face with this stick when I bust out your windows. I mean, really? Is this like overkill or over-response or what? This woman is just obviously not wanting to interact.
You're not listening?
Meanwhile, back at the car, we see the officer breaking out not only the front window, but the back window as well. I guess maybe he missed in his excitement and hit that one. But this woman obviously isn't driving some kind of a Lexus. She's in a relatively older model car with, tires that look pretty well worn. She's probably
We gave you clear instructions.
not doing real well financially.
Did you hear what I said?
But she's not doing anything, and she's very reasonable, I think, with these officers. And she's just standing on her rights. She's not doing anything at all illegal or criminal or anything that would justify this kind of an aggressive approach by the police. There's just nothing here, period.
Why don't you look for that black bag?
They're searching her car. She's standing there watching them.
Yeah.
They're taking stuff out, throwing it. She's like, yeah, and there's no repercussions. I mean, they don't have to pay to replace the windows in her car. Think of what a burden that would be for her. $500, $600, $800, and she's already broke. She's already doing poorly to begin with. It's just an incredible thing that people can just call the police for no reason. Yeah, so this woman is kind of pleading with the camera. She knows there's a record being made. She's definitely just in her feelings, but she's very cooperative, very restrained, in my view. And, this is typical of police officers. In some areas, we see this all the time. I mean, more and more and more. The reason we're seeing it more and more is not because it's happening more and more. It's just the way it's always been. Now we've just got video recordings, body cameras, and so forth, which
Thank you. Taurus. Jay Taurus.
So you see, she's just kind of hanging out, waiting for them to get through with their little bullshit, because
We don't have criminals to go find.
this is a
You
mere
got called
nothing.
into us. We
I
didn't come
mean,
looking for you.
could have turned into some kind of an arrest.
I got called Indy on
Yeah,
Once they
somebody
get
called
to
you
that
in.
because
point
they were worried
where they're
about
at right
so.
now, they've got every incentive to really search real hard,
This is how y'all treat
and
people that are y'all
they
are
probably
worried about.
actually
God,
did
I hate to be worried
and
about.
are, but
Oh my God.
evidently she's just kicking back, kind of laughing at them now because there's nothing there. They find nothing. So what are they going to do next? Obviously, they have to try to play it off. They have to try to make like, oh well, nothing really happened. We're sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am. You can just be on your way. Oh, by the way, we did
Yeah, I
write
think
you
that's a little
a
excessive,
citation
breaking the
for
windows.
illegal
Well, we
parking.
refused to get out of the car, and we gave you
In
plenty
this
of reasons why,
garage.
and plenty of
She said I
chances.
didn't have
Some
to
bullshit,
get out of the
right?
car. She told me that just to ID myself, and I did ID myself.
You did?
Yeah, I did. You were there.
Well, you did yourself to me. She was here before I got here, and you didn't ID to her.
What is that? What's the point?
You didn't ID to her. You ID to
I
me.
have to I ID to y'all.
And we explained to you what?
I don't. That's
We
all
don't know
I
who
needed
you
to
are.
do.
We don't know who you are.
That's all I needed to do.
Are you going to let me speak, or are you just going to do all the
Well,
talking?
because you're not making any sense. She told me if I.
Don't
Here
cut
we
me
see how this
Go.
dude's gonna try to
And I
bulldog
did
her,
ID
right?
myself to both of
She
y'all, and all of a
knows
sudden we're back to breaking
that
windows.
she has
And what did we
complied
say? After
with
you
what the
identified
law
yourself?
demands.
I don't know why I even ID
She knows what
myself
she's
if we're
doing.
back to breaking
She
windows.
gave her
What did we
ID.
tell you?
Now she's
She
in
gave
my
it
property.
to
What did
this
we tell you why we needed you to get
officer
out of the car?
instead
Why
of
did y'all ask
the
me
other
to
one.
ID myself?
But
You're just gonna
they
write
had
it
it
from a
in their
person anyway.
possession.
Exactly.
They knew her ID.
Doesn't make any
And that
sense.
whole thing
There's
was
no
about
sense here. Don't try to make sense out of it
producing
now.
identification.
This is reverse engineering.
They didn't have any probable cause. They didn't
Officer
have a
McKinney's search of the
reasonable
vehicle came up
suspicion.
empty, while Corporal Torres suffered multiple cuts to his right hand from breaking the car window.
I mean, this I should just put into I should just put it into a frame, really. I mean, right here's the relevant part of it, right? I should just put this in a frame. The court orders early termination of supervision granted. So, this is it. It's done. It's beautiful. The way that that my PO handled this was really with some class and some real dignity. I mean, he turned out honestly to be a pretty decent fellow. Even though I did have complaints, because one of the things that they were saying that I wasn't in compliance. They were saying that I wasn't taking my UA tests. And when you're on supervised release, you have to call what's called Codaphone. And you give them the last four numbers of your social security number. Well, first of all, they had the wrong social security number for me. Mine was 6652. But I don't know. Well, I think I know where they got that from. It's off the bottom of one of my indictments way back in the day, but it was wrong. The other thing was that they didn't have the number correct. They had 6655. So I never heard my number called. And the PO told me, you don't go in for testing unless you hear your number called. So I didn't go in for months and months because every day we listened, Jane and I, to the Codaphone, but I never heard my number called. So when I came to file the original motion to terminate, the probation officer said, he's not in compliance. He hasn't shown up for his UA testing and blah, 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 blah. So, it was just wrong. It was just incorrect. So finally got that straightened out, and I think with everything else that was going on, the lawyers from Stanford University, the clinic, the professors, the public defender's office coming and getting behind me and literally making a great case for the judge, making it easy for the judge to grant this. But yeah, I'm off the hook. I'm off the chain, so to speak. It's like, okay, all right, boom. The last leg of this long and arduous conflict with the criminal justice system, the federal criminal justice system, has now ended. It's gone, it's done, it's over. And I can breathe a sigh of relief and feel like a real human being now. It's going to take me a minute because everything that I did was sort of circumscribed. I had to be aware